Hello everyone, welcome to my brand new Let's Play series of Fallout 2. This is Colonel RPG and I'm so happy to have you here hanging out with me as I start yet another Let's Play of this fantastic game. It's Fallout 2. Everybody knows about it? Everybody watching has played it? No, I don't know. I don't know if you've played it or not, but I have played it a whole lot over the years that I have had a computer. This is actually my second, I think this was my second RPG of all time. The second RPG I have ever played. The first one was Diablo 2. It's a little bit weird, then I jumped into Fallout 2 and I learned why I shouldn't skip dialogues. Yeah, well, I'm starting a new Let's Play, of course, of Fallout 2, just on the back of my previous Let's Play of Fallout 1. Before, with Fallout 1, we played as Jessie, a unlucky girl that got effectively cast out by the denizens of Vault 13, and under the excuse of sending her out to look for the water chip so that they could survive. That was really all they did was get rid of her because they didn't like her. At least that's what I wrote for her story anyway. It wasn't really like that, but at the end, through great sacrifice, Jessie survived. She got back. She saved the wasteland, and she got cast out. But not before she killed the overseer with a shot to the face. The first time she had used a weapon. But yeah, if you want to see all of that, you need to go back to Fallout 1. I just want to give you some perspective as to what happened, and Fallout 2 comes right on the back of that, and 80 years later, something happened. Let's look at the introduction before we create a new character.
War. War never changes. The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted. Too many humans, not enough space or resources to go around. The details are trivial and pointless. The reasons, as always, purely human ones. The Earth was nearly wiped clean of life. A great cleansing, an atomic spark struck by human hands, quickly raged out of control. Spears of nuclear fire rained from the skies. Continents were swallowed in flames and fell beneath the boiling oceans. Humanity was almost extinguished, their spirits becoming part of the background radiation that blanketed the Earth. A quiet darkness fell across the planet, lasting many years. Few survived the devastation. Some had been fortunate enough to reach safety, taking shelter in great underground vaults. When the great darkness passed, these vaults opened, and their inhabitants emerged to begin their lives again. One of the northern tribes claims they are descended from one such vault. They hold that their founder and ancestor, one known as the Vault Dweller, once saved the world from a great evil. According to their legend, this evil arose in the far south. It corrupted all it touched, twisting men inside, turning them into beasts. Only through the bravery of this Vault Dweller was the evil destroyed. But in so doing, he lost many of his friends and suffered greatly, sacrificing much of himself to save the world. When at last he returned to the home he had fought so hard to protect, he was cast out, exiled. In confronting that which they feared, he had become something else in their eyes, and no longer their champion. Forsaken by his people, he strode into the wasteland. He traveled far to the north, until he came to the Great Canyons. There he founded a small village, Arroyo, where he lived out the rest of his years. And so, for a generation since its founding, Arroyo has lived in peace, its canyons sheltering it from the outside world. It is home. Your home. But the scars left by the war have not yet healed, and the Earth has not forgotten.
Such a brilliant introduction. I know almost every single line by heart. I've played Fallout 1 more than Fallout 2, but that introduction, I mean, it's just nostalgia for me because this was the first Fallout I've ever played back in probably around the year 2000, 2001. I still didn't have a computer, but I played it at my cousin's house because, you know, that's how I consumed my computer video games at the time. You know, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have a great history with this game. And so you all have your own ways of playing it, your own things that you like to do. Maybe you like wiping out a certain city of bigots. Maybe you like aligning yourself with a certain family of bigots. Because this game has a lot of bigotry. Not really bigotry as in the modern sense, but just they're there's a bunch of jerks in this game, and maybe you like picking one of these three guys, Cheetah, Mingan, and Narg. I have never ever played with any of them, because they're all terrible. Well, actually, yeah, they're all absolutely awful. Narg is actually not that bad, but that's because he's gifted, most likely. Yeah, right there. I still haven't decided what character I am gonna play with. I know, I should have done this, but because I am gonna be able to make cuts, I'm gonna be showing you a little bit of character creation. I've spent a lot of hours thinking of characters in a lot of games, but in Fallout 1 and 2, that's definitely one of those games. And I'm running the Restoration Project, version 2.32 or something like that. It's the latest one. You can check the links down below to run it yourself. And we can change a whole bunch of things. It's all pretty awesome. And there's a lot of new stuff in the game. My first Let's Play of this game was also with a Restoration Project, but it was not meant as a completionist playthrough. This one, like my latest Let's Play of Fallout 1, is indeed intended as a completionist playthrough. Now, I'm not gonna promise you that I will do every single thing, because it's actually quite hard in Fallout 2 to do every single thing right. And at the end of the day, I didn't do every single thing in Fallout 1 either. There were a couple of things I missed, but it was generally for me, anyway, I thought that was a very complete playthrough. For Fallout 2, I'm gonna aim for the same, so let's look at character creation. Well, let me see what my name is gonna be. Let's think of that later. It doesn't really matter. Age doesn't matter either. It's gonna be 21. It's gonna be a young gun. He's gonna be hot, and that's gonna be a guy as well, because my first time with Fallout 2 on the channel was with a girl. So yeah, the age doesn't really matter. There's some things that you can unlock because of specific age. I think if you're called Mary Jane, is it Mary Jane? And you got a specific age, somebody that gives you something. It's just an Easter egg, really. You need to be female as well. But there we go. So, character creation. Well, easy peasy if you're starting the game out. Go with gifted, go with 5 strength, 8 everything except for endurance. It's very easy to die even with a lot of endurance, because criticals are a thing in this game and they will kill you. But this is just, you know, a fantastic character. This amount of luck will allow you to have 4 companions. This amount of agility will allow you to have 9 action points, which is really good. You don't really need 9 action points. 8 is enough, especially if you're going with a ranged attacker. But it depends. If you use a weapon with 3, you are able to shoot 3 times with 3 action points, you know, per shot. But that's generally it. Intelligence, you will want at least 8, I think, is the max. There's a few intelligence checks later that have 9, so I'm gonna want to try. I want to go with maximum intelligence in this build. But in the build that I'm gonna go with, gifted is just really a really powerful, really powerful trait. A lot of players don't. Well, a lot of players. Some people. I'm not sure if a lot of them, but some people say that this is overpowered, and it is, but some people don't play with it on their serious runs. Because this is a completionist playthrough, I'm gonna go with the gifted. The downside of gifted is that you have less skills, but it's just such an enormous bonus here that it really is overpowered. With gifted, you should have like 2 or 3 stat perks and the same downside, and then it would be balanced. Like for example, skilled is also a different thing. Basically, this one is pretty good as well, but not as good as in Fallout 1, because this decreases the amount of perks that you can actually get. Perks are something that we're gonna get into later on, and I like it in Fallout 1 because perks don't really matter in Fallout 1. There's not as good perks as there could be. But what I'm gonna try to go with is heavy weapons. Yes, that's right. I want to go with heavy weapons. So for that, I'm gonna want extra criticals. This is actually heavy weapons. I haven't decided, because we could go with a sniper build. For a sniper build, you will need 8 perception and 8 luck. No, actually, is it 8 agility and 8 perception? Oh yeah, it's 8 agility and 8 perception. What is a sniper build? Sniper is a perk that you get at level 24, so very late game, but it will multiply your crit chance not by 1, because look at that, critical chance is 1, it's luck times 1, but it will multiply it by 10, so it would be an 80% critical chance, and it is really powerful. You don't need 8 luck, 7 or 6 luck is more than enough for you to crit everybody to death, but it's still a very good build. I want that, to be honest. I want that. This is also a pretty good build. It's a Slayer build. I was trying to tweak it. Well, The other one wasn't really a sniper build. You'd probably want extra perception on the other one. This build has a downside, though, because having 8 strength is not actually required. And I might go with 7 strength rather than 8. The problem with the 8 strength is that with a power armor, you're going to be able to get it to a theoretical 11, but the game doesn't go above 10. So, yeah, that's late game, though. So what is a Slayer build? The Slayer build requires 8 strength and 8 agility. We have 10 because this is a melee skill. A Slayer is a perk that late in the game turns you into basically the sniper alternative. The problem with that is that I don't know if the Restoration Project fixes a bug that the game has, which is that it should work as the sniper one that basically multiplies this by 10. But in the original game you didn't have that. It just transformed every single hit into a critical. So that would be really good to have this as a dump stat. I'm not really sure I want that. This would be interesting because we played as Jessie. She hit in melee and unarmed exclusively. That would be interesting for that alone, but I don't know if I want that. I mean, it's a nice build and all, but ultimately I think this is a good build. It's kind of weird, but there's a reason for a lot of this. So basically, I really would like to have more luck, but I think 50% crit chance later on is going to be enough. So yeah, that's the required 8 agility. 7 is not good because it gives you 8 action points, the same as 6. So there's no real point in having 7. You'd rather have 6. The good thing with 7 though is that you can improve this. I think you can improve this later in the game, or maybe you can't. No, I think you can. Yeah, with a special. It's a special quest, sort of, but I really don't want to do that. You can do the same with intelligence, but I'm gonna go with 10 just from early on because we have gifted. Speaking of gifted, I'm gonna have fast shot because it's gonna be a heavy weapons playstyle, so there's no aiming for that. Man, it sucks that I'm not gonna be able to show you that interesting character aiming thing in this Let's Play, but, well, yeah, I'm sorry. But, well, this is a sort of a completionist build while trying to have fun with heavy weapons, so that's gonna be good. I'm also gonna go with 10 charisma, yeah, 10 intelligence and 10 charisma. This is gonna be great just for dialogue choice. Of course, we're gonna tag the speech right there. We're gonna go with 10 charisma and 10 intelligence. Intelligence for the skills, charisma is for our friends, because we're gonna have a lot of friends, and they're all probably gonna survive, hopefully. With my, well, hopefully. We'll see, as long as I don't kill Cassidy, that's all that really matters. Anyway, we got... Oh boy, if you watch my previous Let's Play, you know what I'm talking about. It's terrible. Anyway, it's not gonna happen this time. We are gonna go with 10 perception, 7 perception. We're gonna be able to improve it to 8. It's not amazing, but perception is not really that important. It is pretty important, but 7 is good for basically all the speech checks, because there's speech checks for this. 5 strength, yeah. So we're gonna be able to get this up by 1. And then plus 4 as well with the power armor that we get. So we're plus 3. Yeah, plus 3 with the normal power armor. You get plus 4 with the advanced one. So it's gonna be enough. Strength really is only relevant. You shouldn't never have less than 5. And it's really only relevant for carry weight, but that's what charisma is for, so we can give it to our friends. Of course, we need to find the friends first. And then the rest of the stuff is fairly self-explanatory. So let's see who we're gonna look. Oh yeah, the name Daryl. That's right. We're gonna look like. Let's see. Do I have a black guy here? I do not have a black guy. Okay, because if I did, it would be a reference to The Office. As it is, it's the original reference that I meant the name as for a famous guitar player that has passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. Probably like 13 now. Anyway. Yeah, he's pretty good. So that's gonna be the name right there. It's still gonna be 21, not 38 or 39 as the guitar player in question. But let's go with the long hair. Of course, he is missing the little goatee, but unfortunately, there's no such thing. And this is actually not in the original game. This is, as I said, because of the Restoration Project. Again, links in the description. So let's start the game and a new movie, sort of full motion thing.
Come in, Chosen One. There are things you must know. The village is dying. The signs are everywhere. Withering crops. Dying Brahmin. Sick children. There is hope, however. A slim hope. that few know of. The old discs speak of an item called the Garden of Eden Creation Kit. It is said it can bring life to the wasteland. This will be your quest, if you prove yourself worthy. For that proof, you must first journey to the Temple of Trials. If you survive, come back to me. We will talk more. Our life is in your hands, Chosen One. Prove yourself. Find the Gek. Be our salvation.
And here we are. At the Trial of Temples. No, the Temple of Trials. That's right. The temple. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, the big blight. The big blight in Fallout 2. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to the game. Oh boy. Some people say that they don't like... Well, a lot of people say that they don't like the introduction of Fallout 2. And I'll show you in a little bit. Let's have a chat here with this guy over here. Clint, a fellow tribesman. Oh, good day to you, Daryl. You have not completed the trial of the Elder and may not pass. Oh, but I need to go back to the village. Oh, forgive me, Daryl, but I cannot allow you to pass. If you wish to return to the village, you may do so only by passing the trial set before you. Can I ask you some questions? Forgive me, but I have no answers to your questions. Take the trial set before you by the Elder and prove yourself worthy to lead our people. He was gonna say worthily, but I was gonna say worthy. Yeah, so the trial, the Temple of Trials is basically the tutorial level of Fallout. You are in a dark, musty temple. The shadows seem to play tricks with your eyes, and you can hear the faint sound of movement. Yeah, we have ants. Some giant ants. Nothing out of the ordinary, unfortunately. Yeah, so that was what I was saying. In Fallout 1, they paid way lot more attention to the item descriptions, and that's something that I really enjoy in Fallout, is that you're able to just see item descriptions for pretty much everything. Elite Torch in a wall sconce. These things existed in Fallout 1, that's why they have descriptions, but the other stuff, it doesn't. So pretty much everything that's in Fallout 2 that wasn't in Fallout 1 doesn't have descriptions. That's a shame. That's really something that I miss. But yeah, so about this tutorial mission. Don't worry, if you don't like it, it's not a problem. I'm gonna cut away most of the combat, because yeah, let's do that. Well, that's a kill. That is a kill. Let's go and kill this one as well. And that is another kill. There we go. Way faster, isn't it? Way faster. Well, as I was saying, yeah, basically, a lot of people say that this introduction to Fallout 1 is a little bit out of place. And yes, it was not intended from the original design. We have a bunch of stuff over here. It's basically a tribal temple, because it's very heavily based on melee combat. And I do agree that it would have been much easier, if you were gonna argue that way, it would have been much easier to have just ranged weaponry. Give me a slingshot or something, because my guy is on big guns. He doesn't really have too much small guns, but he certainly doesn't have enough melee weapons or unarmed to fight these guys effectively enough. So basically what I do here, oh boy, I'm gonna take a little bit of damage there. That's okay. What I do here is that I just punch them, but I missed 41%, and it's even less now because the armor class increases when they don't do anything in a turn. But yeah, just kiting around these guys, not a big deal. But yeah, so the tutorial lesson. I personally am a big fan of tutorial areas most of the time. Some that ooh, that's a nice dodge right there. Some that I really liked. Oh, and I'm not cutting away now. Why am I not cutting away? Cut away, Colonel! I remember, for example, KOTOR 2. I really liked that tutorial mission. It was completely detached from the rest of the game. And much like this one, it was a completely different thing. You were controlling a little droid, and that was a lot of fun. I liked that. But then we oh, nice. What is that? Healing powders. Yeah, I'm not gonna take those. Very powerful healing magic, though it will bring the feeling of sleep to your head. We'll learn about those later. Yeah, but our trial here is more of one through combat, and it doesn't end with the stupid little ants. There's a lot of them. It's quite. Oh no. These are not ants. These are red scorpions. Our trusty friends have shrinked, apparently, because red scorpions are huge, as you might remember from Fallout 1. Let me kill this guy. And that other guy as well, the two red scorpions that were over here. And yeah, you might remember them from Fallout 1, where they were absolutely humongous. Let me just show you how big they were. You see this? We got a small scorpion tail. Oh yeah, that's right, in the Restoration Project they changed this. It's actually quite small, but it used to be enormous because they didn't change the graphics for the original game. But yeah, you guys might remember if you've played or seen somebody play Fallout 1, yeah. They're now smaller versions of red scorpions, which is actually quite cool. And actually makes sense because, you know, of course, 80 years after the war, radiation would have dropped down, and the effects of all that, it's still a large amount of little creatures, or not so little creatures as this one over here. But I still enjoy the Temple of Trials. I feel I don't know, it probably is a mixture of nostalgia and, I don't know, I might be just fooling myself, really. Oh, I didn't get the other red scorpion tail, did I? No, there was another red scorpion that I killed here. But it's, I don't know. I like it. I like it. Of course, as I did with the cave full of rats in Fallout 1, I cut away all this stuff because there's really nothing to see. And this is the first episode after all. So yeah, welcome on in, everybody. Let me just continue doing this because there are a lot. How many? Oh, there's another one over there. Fantastic. A very easy way to fix the Temple of Trials, I think, would have been to just add a side way, a different way to kill all the red scorpions. Just, I don't know, maybe a shortcut, or something that would cave in everything on top of the red scorpions, or, I don't know, something. Just, or give me come on, it's just, it doesn't even have to be a non-violent way of completing it. It could be just instead of giving me melee weapons, just give me a slingshot is good. A slingshot with stones, and that actually would make complete sense. But no, it's for me, as I said, it's not a problem. But the thing is, this actually doesn't extend. Oh, it's locked. Oh, look at that. Whatever shall we do? Well, we shall use lockpick on this thing. 35%. That's our skill, and we definitely pick the lock on the door because we, of course, have that. I didn't talk about this, did I? Well, this is lockpick and speech is basically what you need for this game. The other tag skill is how we go. Let me just quick save here because now, let me try and go for that. Yeah. Now we have traps, and I see a raised plate. Okay. And I continue seeing raised plates. You see them all over here? This is an interesting way of doing traps, and that's how it is in the original game. I really liked how the fixed patch by Killap for Fallout 1 did it, because it's just a check and a skill check, and you basically get hit by the trap or not, and you can't see the raised plates. But as it stands, you just apply the skill and either fail to disarm the trap or just disarm the trap and get a little bit of experience, and that's gonna be what I'm gonna do. I actually am really bad at this. It's because I'm gifted. Gifted really... Look at that. Gifted really brings down your skills, so yeah, it's still enough for us to gain a little bit of experience, and I'm gonna go with that, because early Fallout 2 is, I feel, at least the way I play it, without, you know, really min-maxing too much, I feel early Fallout 2 is really fun, because it's very dependent on the little bit of ammo that you have, or the little weapon that you just were able to get. Like, oh, you sharpened your spear. That's fantastic. That's really, really good. Actually, I remember I didn't know you could sharpen your spear until my third playthrough. I was young. You'll see. We'll sharpen our spear in this game. Let me just take care of these traps. This little red scorpion wanted to have some fun with me. Yeah, right. A different way to handle the traps, though, and by the way, this red scorpion triggered 2 of them, and I triggered another one because I wanted to show you a different way of handling the traps that I have used personally before, is basically just stepping on them on purpose and hoping that you dodge the sharpened poles that appear out of nowhere, that actually shoot at you. These things don't do much damage, if any. Let's actually check. So I'm doing 1 to 3 damage on my unarmed... Yeah, it's not too bad, and you can throw them. It's kind of a disposable stick that you can throw at people, so and at enemies as well. So I'm gonna get as many of them as I can. There's another little ant over there. Well, but there's no traps. So yeah, that's another way of handling them, but it's just generally better to get the experience, because you don't get any of the experience if you just dodge enemies. So, yeah, let me kill this little red scorpion over here, and the little ant on the other side of the field. Job's done. Oh, this looks pretty cool. I got a new screen that allows me, basically it's a better It's a screen that allows me to see the dark things in games that, like, I've never seen them before, just because it's a little bit higher end on the, you know, darker side of things. It does change the picture quite drastically for some situations. So you might not be able to see what I'm seeing right now, but this place looks pretty cool, and I'd never seen it like this. This chasm it's nothing out of the ordinary, unfortunately. But yeah, so we're reaching the end. The biggest concern for you if you're playing this game, if you're playing, you know, this first end, you know, this part of the game, and you're not familiar with it, if you're new to Fallout, and welcome if you are. You're playing a fantastic game. The biggest concern is the red scorpions. These little guys, they're not a big deal, and you can just do this like this. If you have 9 action points, they cannot use 3 action points to move and another 1 to attack, because they don't have that many action points. I think they have 5 or something like that. So use that into your calculations. Yeah, the biggest concern is the red scorpions, because they will poison you, and you will take a bunch of damage, and it's better than it's better not to take that bunch of damage. There's another one over here, isn't there? Ouch! These guys do hurt a little bit. Oh, it's just this guy alone. Okay. Well, that's that. Even though I suck at punching, I still managed to do that. And you might have noticed that I picked up a plastic explosives, which of course makes total sense to be in a sort of this place. And we have an antidote over there. Don't use it. Even if you get poisoned, don't use it. Use it at the end, not here, at the end of the trial. Unless you're dying, in which case you probably should just use it. So what do we have here? A metal door. Chugga chugga chugga. The old worn door looks like it could be destroyed with a well-placed explosive. Well, it's an impenetrable door. You cannot pick the lock because apparently there's no lock. So the only way to do that is with this explosive. So let's set it to 10 seconds and immediately drop it because the time is ticking, and get out of there. Because you will see what happens. It's not 10 seconds that you have to wait, or usually it isn't. See? Due to your inept handling, the explosive detonates prematurely. So be careful there. Explosives are really powerful, but of course... Ooh! Okay, we have the trap over there that I always forget about. Always forget about. I know it's there, but I always think it's a little bit deeper. That it could be over there, but it's not. It's right there. Okay. It's still not done. But actually, we're very close. We're very close. I'm gonna explore this way and magically kill these guys. And dead they are. I also got something else from over there, a little bit more antidote. Apparently you could use the other one. Don't follow my advice. Anyway, let's actually it's better to keep them because they are quite expensive, so you can sell them for supplies later, which is very important. Oh, these guys. And I also leveled up. You might have noticed. Thank you for noticing. And if you didn't, thank you for not telling me that I didn't. Anyway, let's have these guys gone before I say anything else that's stupid and cringe-worthy. And let's level up. Because what else is there to do? So, I am now level 2. Good. What am I gonna need? Well, not big guns, that's for sure. I specialized in that, but not for right now. We're not gonna have access to big guns in a long while. In a few episodes, so we're gonna have to make do. What are we gonna make do with? Well, I could go with melee weapons. That's certainly the closest I am gonna be able to get, and I'm not too bad at that, but the problem is the endurance here. So I think, I don't know, the melee weapons would be a good thing here. Unarmed, maybe because our ancestor is, you know, ancestor was, Jesse. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go with a little bit of speech over here. Just bring it up to 17, and, let's bring unarmed up. I'm gonna need to punch people. Should I bring an armed up? It's pointless. It's pointless to do this right now. Let's not do it right now. And let's just finish the Temple of Trials. Yes, we are at the end. And there's nothing in that chest over there. I don't actually remember what the chest is for. Let me just save the game. Because what we are about to do is face the boss of this place. I don't remember his name, though. Greetings, Daryl. I have the honor of being your final challenge. To continue in your quest, you must defeat me in unarmed combat. Shall we begin? I've got some questions for you first. What would you like to know? Why do we have to fight? The path of the Chosen One is not an easy trial to walk, Daryl. You will be faced with many challenges throughout your lifetime, and the most difficult of these will be dealing with your fellow men. There will come a time when diplomacy and tact will prove to be useless, and your hand must be raised instead. This challenge prepares you to face another human, look him in the eyes, and know that you may have to kill him. I disagree with you. I think that a peaceful solution to any problem is possible. You may be correct, Daryl, but not in our current situation. You must defeat me to succeed in your trial. Look, I don't know all of your strengths and weaknesses, and you don't know mine. Accidents do happen, so what if one of us inadvertently kills the other one? Let's just end this now rather than take that chance, okay? I see your point. I wouldn't want to be responsible for killing you when all I meant to do was test your mettle. Very well, you may pass, Chosen One. Thanks. I'll see you back at the village. And off he goes. He's very afraid now. Oh boy, what's his name? Cameron, that's right. I always forget his name because that's a girl's name in my book. It's not, I know, but I'm a big House MD fan, so yeah. Anyway, that's the end. That's the end of the Temple of Trials. And the end of the episode as well. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Fallout 2. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.